was taken into custody, and charges are pending.
That's the least that bastard deserves.
Also, according to CSEC, a Drell recently passed through customs. The CSEC office may have more information.
You'd think Citadel security would be the tightest in the galaxy.
I know CSEC too well to believe that's true.
I see no fewer than 14 fatal flaws a skilled assassin could exploit. 8 of them existed when I was here 10 years ago.
Yes?
My associate's trying to find his son. We think a local criminal may have hired him.
That should be easy. We don't see many Drell here. There we go. One of my men reported a Drell recently. And he was talking to Mouse. Interesting.
Mouse?
Ah, petty criminal. Probably not the guy who hired your boy, but a messenger. He's a former duct rat. Runs errands for anyone who'll pay.
What was it you called Mouse?
A duct rat. It's a local slang for the poor kids who grow up in the station. When they're small, they tend to play in the ventilation ducts where adults can't get to them.
Aren't the ducks dangerous?
Every couple of months, we pull a little body out of them. Lacerated by fan blades, broken by a deadfall, suffocated by vacuum exposure. Those are just the ones we know about. More just disappear. Maybe they get sucked into space. Maybe they fall into the protein vats the keepers run. Mouse survived long enough that he can't fit in the ducts anymore. He was one of the smarter ones, or the luckier ones.
What sort of trouble has Mouse been getting himself into?
Odd jobs for shifty people. Duct rats take whatever is available to get by. Data running, fencing stolen goods, selling illegal VI personalities. Actually, he was selling one of you.
Me?
Yeah, when you erased a file, it would say, I delete data like you on the way to real errors.
That's pretty extreme, Commander.
Laugh it up, Garrus.
Buggy, though. It crashed every half hour. The error message was about how the galaxy was at stake, and you should fix the problem yourself.
I've heard enough.
Mouse is usually upstairs outside the Dark Star. He works out of a public comm terminal. You should pick up a copy of the Shepard VI when you talk to him. It sounds like your boy's running with the wrong crowd.
Yes, I agree.
If Mouse can't get you in touch with your son directly, he'll know who can. I'll help you if you need it.
You don't know us, Captain. Why are you going so far to help us?
I've worked Zakera for 2 years. Every day kids turn to crime because they've got no other choice, because their parents don't care. You're trying to save yours.
He faces a dark path.
We better hurry then.
You didn't tell him that Kolyat plans to assassinate someone.
I also didn't tell him what you do for a living. Do you normally discuss assassinations with the police?
I take your point. Thank you, Shepard.
Welcome to Citadel Newsnet. I'm Emily Wong. Daria Claris, the sanitation worker reported missing from Kitloy Ward, has been found. CSEC has issued a statement that
Yeah, sure. I can get you 2 cases by the end of the day.
You Mouse?
What do you... Oh, shit. Krios. I thought you were retired. Commander Shepard? I thought you died. What do you want with me?
Be still, Mouse. You can change your pants in a moment.
How do you know Thane?
Krios? He didn't... If he didn't say nothing, I ain't either.
When we heard the name, I didn't think it could be the same Mouse. He was a contact on the Citadel when I was active. He and some other children would gather information on my targets.
You put children in danger to spy for you?
Children, the poor. My people's word for their kind is Dralafa, the ignored. They're everywhere, see everything, yet they are never seen. You gave another Drell instructions for an assassination. Who's the target?
I don't know. I didn't ask. Because the people I work for, they can make me disappear. I'd like to help you, Krios. You always done right by us, but I ain't gonna die for you.
Kid, I've made people much more important than you disappear. Whoever you're protecting isn't worth it.
You wouldn't hurt me.
Oh yeah?
Krios, man, I did good work for you. You gave me chocolate. Real chocolate.
I never gave my own son chocolate.
I remember, whenever you talked about your kid, your eyes got like that. Like they were someplace else. Sad. He had that hollow you took of me, you know? That's how he proved who he was. When he turned it on, his eyes got like yours do. The guy I cared for is Elias Kellum.
One other thing. That Shepard VI you're selling?
Oh shit, you heard? Look, you were dead. It was totally legal to make a VI of you.
You made money using my likeness. I think I deserve some of the profits. Don't you?
Oh, sure. How about I just transfer some money to you? I mean, why bother with all the lawyers and taxes and junk, huh?
Tell me about Kellum.
Human. Moved to the Citadel about 10 years ago. He was little people when you were here, Krios. He got big after the Geth attack. Lots of the big guys from before got cacked, all in them big fancy apartments up on the Presidium. Now he runs the rackets on the lower end of the ward, Shin Akiba. He's seriously bad news.
You just saved yourself a world of pain, kid.
Yeah, right. When Kellum finds out what I've done, I won't live long. And I can't do anything about it but hide. Krios, you got any kindness for me? Put a bullet in Kellum before you go.
That couldn't have been easy.
Mouse knew more about my life than Kolyat ever did. He smiles up at me, broken teeth and scabby knees, bare feet black, a dead-end future looking up at me, worshipping the petty gifts I offer. I was the only good thing he had back then, but I left him as I left Kolyat.
Mouse said you had a hollow of him.
Yes, a foolish bit of sentimentality. I can perfectly recall every moment I spent with Mouse. He pulls at my arm, smiles. He wants to know that I'll remember him, that anyone will remember him. I take the hollow. He smiles at himself in miniature on my palm. Then a frown crinkles his brow. He pats my pockets, checking for other hollows. Where's your son, Krios? He asks.
Let's head back to Bailey.
Yes?
Can we talk about my associate's son?
You talked to Mouse? Did you get the name of the guy he's working with?
Elias Kellum.
Kellum. Shit. Look, this is awkward. Kellum and I have an agreement. He doesn't cause too much trouble and buys tickets to the C-Sec charity ball from me. In return, I ignore him.
You want to accept bribes? Fine. I don't care how you run your precinct. I want to know if you're gonna help me.
Yeah, I'll help. Absolutely. I'll get some of my people to bring him in and set him up in a private room. You can interrogate him yourself. I'll stay out of sight, and if I'm lucky, Kellum will believe that I had nothing to do with it.
Bring him in. We might not have much time.
I'll make it happen. Wait here.
We've got Kellum. Tell Bailey we're ready.
He'll expect me to get him out of this.
Not today, I think.
Captain, his lawyer's here.
Bet Elias
Clarice has his VI set to page him if C-Sec gets within 10 meters.
I'll stall him. Get in there and work fast.
We should question him together. Keep the pressure on. Thoughts on how we approach it?
You talk to him. Appeal to his self-interest. I'll put the screws to him if he needs it.
Very well. I'll pretend to be on his side. But if we waste too much time negotiating, Bailey won't be able to stall Kellum's advocate.
Get me out of these restraints, Bailey. Pretty funny bringing me down here like this. Who the hell are you two?
My name's Shepard. I'm a Spectre.
Prove it.
I don't have to prove anything. Spectres are above the law. We clear?
Crystal.
Good. Now, fortunately, I'm not after you. You contracted an assassin. Who's the target?
Joram Talid. A Turian. He's running for office. Lives in the 800 blocks.
Thanks. You won't see us again. No offense, but you're a problem below my pay grade.
That may go down in history as the shortest interrogation ever.
What's the story? Why'd Kellum hire the boy?
Assassination. A Turian named Joram Talid. You know him?
Joram? Yeah. You might have seen his posters around. He's promising to end organized crime on the ward. Thing is, his message is all mixed up in race politics. He's anti-human.
Are things so bad that people can openly campaign as anti-human?
You haven't heard what the aliens have been saying? They think the council died because our fleet refused to save them. That we stacked the new council with humans and yes-men. Anderson does his best to be diplomatic, but they act like we're jackbooted thugs enforcing a coup.
We need to stop this assassination. Can you get us to the 800 blocks?
Sergeant, get a patrol car. These two need to get to the 800 blocks.
Yes, sir.
There he is. How do you want to play this?
Follow to lead on the maintenance catwalks. Tell me what he's doing. The Krogan bodyguard will make him easy to follow.
Where will you be?
The darkest corner with the best view. I'm on Kira, Lord of Hunters. Grant that my hands be steady, my aim be true, and my feet swift. And should the worst come to pass, grant me forgiveness.
It's been wonderful talking with you all. I hope you'll come out on Election Day.
You can count on it.
Show the humans they won't get their way.
I'm on him, Thane. He's talking to some voters.
Understood.
You're in position?
Yes.
It's been wonderful talking with you all. I hope you'll come out on Election Day.
I'm following. Have you got him?
Looks like he's talking to another voter.
Any sign of Goliath?
No.
I'm moving to another position. Ahead of him.
It's been wonderful talking with you all. I hope you'll come out on Election Day.
No problem so far. Do you have the target?
One of his guards is talking to the bartender. Looks like a shakedown.
Target in sight. Where is he now?
He's meeting a couple of mercenaries. Looks like the same group his bodyguard comes from.
He looks nervous. Could be he's noticed you.
Maybe he saw Kolyat in here somewhere.
Also a possibility. There are obstructions ahead. I'll try to go around. Don't lose him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, who are you?
I don't have time for this.
Stay close, Shepard. I see him. I'm following.
Kolyat! Thane,
I saw.
he's heading to Talid's apartment.
Kolyat.
This is a joke. Now you show up.
Help me, Drell. I'll do whatever you want.
C-Sec, put the gun down, son.
Get out of my way. I'm walking out. He's coming with me.
They'll have snipers outside.
I don't need your help. What the hell?
Talid, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I will.
Take the boy into custody.
You son of a bitch!
Your father and I have killed a lot of people. You haven't. There's no reason you should start.
I read his files. What made it all right for him to kill all those years?
I was 6 when the Hanar began to train me. I didn't know any better. Your mother woke me from my battle sleep.
And why did you leave her? Why weren't you there when she died?
Your mother. They killed her to get to me. It was my fault.
What?
After her body was given to the Deep, I went to find them. The Triggermen, the ringleaders. I hurt them. Eventually killed them. When I went back to see you, you were older. I should have stayed with you.
I guess it's too bad for me you waited so long, huh?
Kolyat, I've taken many bad things out of the world. You're the only good thing I ever added to it.
This isn't a conversation you should have in front of strangers. Boys, take Kolyat and his father back to the precinct. Give them a room and as much time as they need.
I'm surprised you're letting him do that.
You think he's the only man who ever screwed up raising a son? I have to get back to the precinct. Come on, I'll give you a lift.
They've been in there a while.
The kid's been through a lot. I ran some searches in the CSEC archive. About 10 years back, a bunch of real bad people were killed. Like someone was cleaning house. The prime suspect was a Drell. We never caught him.
Someone like that is trouble you don't want to deal with.
Someone's got to deal with it. Doesn't have to be me, though.
How'd it go?
Our problems, they aren't something I can fix with a few words. We'll keep talking, see what happens.
Your boy shot some people. No one I feel sympathy for, but there it is.
That kid goes through the system, we both know he's there for the rest of his life. Those guys were a waste of skin, scales, whatever.
If you've got another suggestion, I'm listening.
Give him a job. He can work off his debt to society and you can keep an eye on him.
It sounds like more work for me, and I can't just deputize him into CSEC. You have to go through channels.
I didn't say have him work for CSEC. I said have him work for you.
Interesting. I'll think about it.
Thank you, Captain. Something.
Have a few minutes to talk?
Very well. I had been recording a message for Kolyat.
How are things going with him?
It is difficult. All things worth keeping are. I never explained. I suppose the story of my wife's death took you by surprise.
I figured you'd explain to me when you were ready.
I appreciate your patience. I kept my work clear of our home life. I assumed that would be enough to protect Erica. That memory I mentioned before. Laser dot trembles on the target's skull. The smell of spice on a spring wind. Sunset eyes defiant in the scope. That was Erica. That was how I met her. She saw my targeting laser as she walked by and threw herself in the way.
I guess she impressed you.
She woke me up. Her body trembles. Not fear. Indignation. Her mouth moves. How dare you? You and I trained to sacrifice ourselves to save others. How often does a civilian step in the way of a bullet to protect someone they've never met? I thought she was the goddess Arashu. She met my eyes through the scope, and my purpose faltered.
So how'd she go from blocking your shot to having your children?
I had to meet her. The memory possessed and endowed me. I fell on my knees before her, begged her pardon. She introduced me to the world beyond my work. Eventually, she forgave me. Later, she loved me.
When you talked to Kolyat, you said she died.
I let myself become complacent. I thought Erica and Kolyat were safe. I stayed away too long, and my enemies came for her.
Who came for her?
Letarians, a slaver ring that was preying on Hanar outer colonies. I'd killed their leaders. They paid the Shadow Broker to find out who I was. But they were afraid of me, so they went after her.
You told Kolyat that you hunted her killers down.
Erica woke me up. When she passed, I returned to my battle sleep. My body hunted her killers, murdered them. I was taught to grant death quickly, cleanly. to minimize suffering. Them, I let them linger.
I don't blame you. They killed innocents to get to you.
For you and me, death is business. For people like them, it is sport. I haven't spoken about my wife, and I don't think I ever have. I didn't have anyone left to tell it to.
You're talking to your son again. That's huge. Don't lose sight of that by dwelling on should-have-beens.
You are correct, of course. Thank you for listening, Siha.
I think my translator just glitched. What did you call me?
Siha. Someday I'll tell you what it means.